Well, here I am again. Sorry.
We love you. We love you.
Sorry, here I am. Okay. I tried to get someone else to do it, but no one accepted. So if anybody wants to take this over, Mike, you're welcome.
We love you, Roy.
We're okay? Okay, go ahead. Okay. You know, you remember the jokes I told you last night? Anybody raise their hand? I can tell them again then. Okay. All right. Okay, I got to start out with one small joke.
Yeah.
Okay? I told this to some of my high school class of 56 and one from 58 this morning.
I was the only one there.
There were three men who went to the White House to bid on building a fence around the White House. She's heard it. Okay. One was from Chicago, one was from Kentucky, and the other one was from New Orleans. It wasn't New Orleans, it's New Orleans.
Yeah, that's right.
New Orleans. Okay, got it. Okay, so the first one who was from New Orleans, he measured it out. He took a lot of time. He wrote all these calculations down, and he came up with $9,000. $4,000 for the materials, $4,000 for the labor, and $1,000 for him. That was great. He thought, well, the official said, let's hear what you've got to say. The man from Kentucky says, I can beat that. We can do it for $3,000 for materials, $3,000 for labor, $1,000 for me. That makes $7,000. The guy from Chicago said, wait just a minute. He took no measurements, did nothing at all, like the other two gentlemen had done. He went over and he got the White House executive. He said, listen, he says, I can do it for $47,000. He says, $47,000? The guy from Kentucky said $7,000. Listen, here's how it works. I take $20,000, you get $20,000, and we'll get the guy from Kentucky to build it for $7,000. Now that is how things work sometimes, right? Continuously. We have a lot of you were here last night, and I'm glad to see you again, but we have some others who have come tonight, and we're so grateful for them to be here. We have right here in front of us Sydney, and she and her husband were very instrumental in these reunions, and we've lost Bill, her husband, this year, and we want to give you our condolences and tell you how much we appreciate you being here, and also for Bill for what he did. Thank you. We also have for tonight Mary Jane Ritchie Smith. Carter Ritchie Smith. She's back here. Stand up for us, please. We're so grateful for her being here. She has her son here with her and his wife. Is that correct? Right. Got it right. Okay, that's great. Thank you. Coming all the way from Oregon for our event tonight. We have a lot of good people. Now, right here in the middle is a special table. These are. Well, there's one guy who's a wiseacre. No, Wisehart. Excuse me, Wisehart. I'm sorry, not Wisehart. I'm sorry. He's right there. And we have Fred Holland here with us too. And we have their wives. And one of my special heroes is here, and that's Alvin Alexander and his wife Shirley. They're right here. All of you of you remember that there were 4 great sprinters at Boulder City High School. Alvin Alexander, Joe Kine, John Shipp, and Bill Sweet. And they held a record in Modesto relays that was finally broken by by Manual Arts High School in LA. Took them many years to break that, and that record stood because those guys could run. And I remember that very well. Now live in California, and I meet a guy by the name of Monty Montgomery. No, none of you know who he is, I know. And I'm talking to him, and he says, "Where are you from?" I says, "I'm from Boulder City, Nevada." He says, "Do you know the Nevada Flash?" I says, "The Nevada Flash? Who would that be?" And then all of a sudden he said, "Bill Sweet, the Nevada Flash." Bill Sweet married Winadine Graw, and I haven't seen him for a couple of years. But Bill Sweet ran the 880 for USC, and so did Monty Montgomery. He said, "You know, I'll never forget. We had one of the conference relays were on, and I says, I said, Bill, we can win this thing, first and second." He says, "You lead out," and he says, "When we get back to the last 100 yards, I'll take you on, and we'll go 1-2 and win the conference." He said, "You know what that Bill Sweet did? He took off, and when he hit that 100, he sprinted like he was in high school. That last 100 yards were like he was in that relay that they won the CIF, that big championship in Modesto, and he beat Monty." He says, "I'll never forget him. After that, he was always the Nevada Flash." We have this website called BoulderCity60.com. I've read some very wonderful stories in there. We have memories of a lot of our people who are friends and classmates who have gone on. And if we took the opportunity to take that site and write something about our friends and those who have left, it would be worthwhile to many of us. I wrote one on one of your classmates, class of 1940, was it 40? Was Schultz in which class was he in? David, was he in your class? Schultz, wasn't it? You're 40, David Weishart, 45? Are you in 45? That was Schultz's class. I wrote something about him, and I hope you all take that opportunity to maybe add something to your friends. I'm going to be motivated to do that. Now, we have Ida Godby's right here, right in front of us. Her mother wrote a long story that Jim Widener got to me, I think it was, and it was an incredible story. And every one of you has a story to tell. Every one of you do. I hope you'll take the time to write something about your parents, your classmates, or even yourselves. And if you want to submit it to the BoulderCity60.com, lots of us would like to read it. I really enjoyed seeing the video that our videographer here, Ron Chamberlain, did last year when you gave that wonderful talk here about Boulder City. And it's on that site. Now, if you're a digital dinosaur like some of us are, get your grandkids to help you. Those 6-year-olds are amazing.
Yeah, they are.
And do that, something like that. Some of us were very fortunate to be able to learn how to dance. I remember we used to dance up in the old Masonic Lodge in the basement, and all the high school girls would let us little twerps come in there and they'd teach us how to dance. Then finally Polka Dot Haven was built by the people here in this area, and Teddy Fenton, bless her soul, she got a lot of us to go down there and work. She got the Stices, I know, working down there doing plumbing for free and did all the electrical work. And she invited Marge and Gower Champion, who were professional dancers, like Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers, to come and teach the kids how to dance. And that was a wonderful thing at that time. And one of my classmate, Glenna Muchow, and also Neil Larson danced, and they won the whole thing, the whole kit and caboodle. We also had here, which was an amazing thing, I talked to a guy this morning, that Jim Thorpe came here to town. He used to have a beard place down in Pittman. Jim Thorpe, the All-American that Burt Lancaster played his part in, he came here and watched the softball game. my friend, he had enough sense to get his autograph. But like so many things happen, he's misplaced it, like his mind. That's what happens to us, you know. But Jim Thorpe came and he threw the opening pitch in the Little League game when I was a catcher. If I'd have got his autograph, I could have paid for your dinner today. But didn't do it. We've had a lot of people that come here in this town to visit us.
One morning I got up and convinced my mother I was ill. And so, you know, I'm lying back in the bed. And she went to town and bought me Wee Wisdom magazine, and everything was just peachy keen until the kids came home from school. Shirley Temple had come and sat in my seat because I wasn't there.
That was a good one. I like that. Now, in my class, and in the class of 57, we were excited to play football, but there was no Pee Wee League football or anything like that. But Jack Rance, Chuck Greenwood, and all of them, they got new helmets. They got new helmets, and they got rid of those old leather things that Notre Dame wore for years. And so they were throwing them away. And Jack Ballantyne, whose dad helped build the homes here, all of these 6 company homes, if you remember that, he would build 1.5 of those homes a day. And they paid him $5 a day for working in those homes. His son was Jack Ballantyne. He was a friend of mine. Well, they found all these helmets that were throwing away from the high school. So Jack goes over there and he gets all of them. They had their names on them, like Rance, Greenwood, Kine, Alexander, all these. So we were really fitting to play somebody in football. So he contacted a team in Henderson that they had full uniforms. Man, they were sharp-looking uniforms. And we had the guys like Chuck and them show us how to get down, you know, ready, set, hut, go for them, and all that stuff. But we couldn't execute anything like they did. So we're playing this game over in Henderson. They came out with all their nice uniforms, running around. We come out there, and we had an old shirt on, and we glued some numbers on with tape, you know, number 5, and we put some cotton in our shoulder pads and all that. But there was one guy that really scared him, and that was John Sharp. You know, John Sharp made All-American in football from our high school, and he had Melvin Sharp's cleats. And that put the fear of those guys in Henderson. Because I remember going to a game down here at Peterson Field when these guys used to dress up at the old gym and they'd play down at Peterson Field and they'd jump on cars and they'd have a bus that brought them down here to the field, but they'd march through the streets and you hear all those, oh, that was cool, man. Click, 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 they're coming down to play football. And, but John had these cleats. So John, we were playing the 4th quarter. The scorekeeper, he had a stopwatch. We didn't know no scoreboard. And he said, 1 minute left. Ballantyne got us all together and he said, look, John's got cleats. We're going to give him the ball, and every one of you knock the guy in front of you down, and we're going to win this game. Come on, let's get it hot. Well, bang, that happened. Pitched to John, went around, we won the game. 6-0. Of course, Jack, he wanted to kick his drop kick, which is now they kick a place kick after him. So he tried his drop kick, but he missed it. So anyway, 6-0. Boy, I tell you, that was the greatest moment in our lives to beat Henderson. We kept doing that for a long time. Now at Schultz's funeral, I was there. How many of you were at Schultz's funeral? 1, 2, okay. I was at Gene Schultz's service down here. Came up from California to attend that. I like Gene. He was a great guy. Anyway, they have Martinez, who was from Henderson. They have also Harry Reid. Harry Reid was because Gene was an avowed Democrat. He was very upset that we named Boulder Dam Hoover. He didn't want Hoover not much, most of the people here. I understand that. I understand that. But anyway, so Martinez, he was in Harry Reid's entourage there in Washington, and Harry Reid was actually the class of 1957 in Henderson. He has a distinction of knocking out Billy McCullough's front tooth. But Billy remained a Democrat, I think. But anyway, so I got up, so nothing was said about us beating Henderson because those two dudes are from Henderson. So Kay Ann and some of the people said, Roy, get up there and say something. Get up there and say something. So I got up there and I says, I hate to tell you this, Martinez, and Harry Reid wasn't there, by the way, he couldn't make it. I said, take this back to Harry. We never lost to you in football, ever, ever, ever. Now remember that. Because Gene Schultz took over from a man by the name of Mark Stone, but Padgett was also the coach. And Padgett was an honorable mention All-American from Michigan. And he came here and says, there's not a football player in this town, I'm leaving. And he took off. Gene Schultz took the job later, no one else would. And we won 2 state championships with Gene. We all liked him. I think everybody liked him. Anyhow, I did say to him, I did say at the funeral, I am sorry that I have, now, this is politically incorrect for a lot of you people out here, so just excuse me, but I have the microphone. And I said, the only thing that I had a disagreement with Gene was this, and that was this, that I changed from being a Democrat to a Republican. I'm sorry. That was it. And I know that doesn't fit so very well in Nevada, but I was very tired of continually paying the taxes that I did. I'm sorry. Okay, that's the end of the story. Okay, the end of the story. I know you guys are. Excuse me. Right. But I live in California.
We don't pay a lot of taxes.
Oh, yeah. Yes, we don't pay any taxes there. None. Well, I'm going to close now, and I just wanted to thank you for coming tonight. It's been great. I think we're going to turn the microphone over to Pepper Combs, and he's going to do our raffle, or is that what he's going to do? Okay, and we're going to have a drawing here. But in closing, I'm going to tell you one final joke. This is it. This is the end. You know, I love dogs. Excuse me. I love dogs, and I love horses. I had the first horse here in Boulder City. I don't know if any of you remember that. Double Helms used to ride him all the time.
No, you didn't.
Getz.
No, you didn't.
Okay. Yes. Wait a second. Before you correct me, it wasn't 1947 that the storm was here. It was 1949, so I stand corrected, and I will take any corrections you want to give. Who was the first horse?
We had the first horse on the ranch. His name was Camel, because he was
Swayed back.
Swayed back. Nobody rode him, but that was in 1934.
Okay. If you look at the sign, though, there were a lot of horses here when TWA had their first. That was 1938. But you had here in what year?
We came in 31.
31. Okay. 31ers. I got you. I stand corrected. I did not have the first horse. I may have had the 5th or 20th. I don't remember. Go ahead.
I can't hear it. I have 2 girls here. Your first year. I have 2 girls here. Got their first year in my sorority.
Let's give them a hand. Where are they in the world of Braziers? You got them over there. Okay. Now back to the final joke. It's not a horse joke. Don't forget that. This is about a dog. Now, Pepper Combs is going to do a raffle here, but my mother was scared to death of their dog Spike because he knocked her down all the time on D Street when she returned from Green Hut Cafe as a waitress. Anyway, here's one about the dog. This man comes up to this woman and she's standing there beside him, and there's a dog there. And he says, "Ma'am, does your dog bite?" She says, "No, my dog does not bite." He reaches down and pets the dog, and the dog bit his hand about off. He says, "I thought you told me your dog didn't bite." She said, "That's not my dog." Thank you very much. I'll turn the time over to Pepper.
There we go. All right, here we got a golden eagle. Okay, all 3 of them. But we're gonna have 3 separate drawings, is that correct? Okay. Here we go for the first one. Pat. I got it. And if you don't know Pat, then I have a number. 395214. Here she comes.
You missed it.
I think this is an inside deal here. Okay. There you go. Okay, Joanne, class of 1960. Joan. Okay, now the big one. Class of 62, Magoo. Okay, we got this one's a one night in the King Suite with breakfast from the Boulder Dam Hotel. Lily M. Goff, class of 1956.
There's my love strolling in the door. There's my love strolling in the door.
Okay, gift basket donated by Bert Hansen, along with the t-shirts. Lale, she gets one every year, 1959. There you go, Lale.
They go to somebody else.
These go to George's? There she goes. Okay, that's the end of this, so we'll pass it on to these other guys.
At some point,